Hello. I thought it was important that all the members got to hear candidates speaking. I know everyone didn't manage to get to the hustings, but I thought by making this wee film of the speech that I delivered at the hustings, it would at least give members a chance to actually see and hear me, if you're not familiar with who I am. Friends, I'm Rab Wilson, the poet, activist and campaigner. I was born and bred in New Cumnock and have lived or worked in Ayrshire all my days. I'm a local man for local issues. The ancient Chinese had a view of the ideal society. At the bottom were the businessmen, merchants, the lawyers and the politicians. In the middle were the people, and at the top were the poets. The poet Shelley stated that poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world. Nicola Sturgeon began her speech on the 3rd of December 2012 at Strathclyde Uni by quoting for T.S. Eliot. Why she quoted for him when we've so many great Scots poets I didn't ken, but she had the wisdom to turn to a great poet for great words. The political world is made of words. My world is made of words. This could be the perfect marriage. On the mace in Holyrood are written the words, "There shall be a Scottish Parliament," a dream that became a reality. Also in that mace are 4 other words. They are wisdom, justice, compassion, and most importantly of all, integrity. The SNP government are very much in possession of these magical qualities that mark us Scots so supremely human. One of the greatest philosophers that ever lived, Voltaire, said, "We look to Scotland for all our ideas of civilisation." But the job I want is in another place where these fine qualities have been sadly lacking for a long, long time. Westminster is a place that sanctions the spending of £2 billion a year on nuclear weapons. A place that sanctions the use of offshore accounts by shady people in bits like the British Virgin Islands. A place with a population of 22,000 people, but which houses 8,000 companies' offshore banking accounts. Westminster is mere oligarchy than democracy, presiding over privatisation of our health service, drafting anti-trade union laws, promising £25 billion more austerity cuts to the poorest in our society if this Tory shower gets re-elected. An injection of more than 30 SNP MPs into that place might be the thing to bring these folk to their senses. Let's see how they like it when a Scottish tail starts wagging their Westminster dug. But why would you vote for Rab Wilson to be a representative in Westminster? My track record is open and public. Many of yous will have read of my fight for justice with NHS Ayrshire Nairn. It's a very rare thing for a solitary working class individual like myself to take on the powers of the establishment single-handedly and not only beat them, but be the catalyst for a new national framework for the management of critical incidents throughout the whole of Scotland. Well, that's just what I did, friends. And it will have saved the lives of many patients in our NHS. One day, it might save your life. Hey, no doubt, I can have a crack and a laugh with you, and that's important. But I have the wit, the nous, the intelligence and the knowledge to joust and debate with anybody. Like Shakespeare's Prospero, I immersed myself in books. For 10 years on the night shift in the NHS, if things were quiet, I would be reading and educating myself, just as a young Jimmy Reid did at Govan Public Library. Dinna though make the mistake of misjudging my ability because of the way I talk. Others made that mistake and they're all out of a job now. A good Scots tongue has aye been an asset in politics. This time last year, I was one of the 3 nominees for the Robert Burns International Humanitarian Award for my campaigning for justice, truth and transparency in the NHS. It is something that me and my family are immensely proud of. As an SNP MP, I'd do a good job for you. I'm utterly determined in anything that I put my mind to. I'm the kind of man who'll kick down doors to get to the truth. Though I mean that in a metaphorical way, no in an Eric Joyce sort of way. I'll do my best for you, and my best is tried and proven. Every great Scottish political speech I've ever read constantly references the Scottish people. Well, you are the Scottish people, and I want to listen to you and try and make your wishes a reality. To me, that's just common sense. I'll do my very best to make your voices and concerns heard about the local issues that matter to us most. In my bowl, I talked about my support for the Maybole bypass. It's only an SNP government that will make that a reality. Here in Ayr Town Centre, regeneration is a massive issue. Ayr should be one of the tourism jewels in the Scottish crown. Stronger links between the Burns Museum and the University of West of Scotland to exploit Ayr's rich poetry and cultural heritage and potential should be made, an idea that I'm personally committed to. And love him or loathe him, Donald Trump is making massive investments in Ayrshire's golf industry at Turnberry. Real politic and business would see this as something to be exploited for the good of Ayrshire's future. What's no to like about plane loads of rich Americans bringing their dollars here to Ayrshire? My great friend Sir Tom Hunter described me as a man with common sense and as the people's champion. And while I have a breath left in my body, I will defend working people for harassment and intimidation by only bullying corrupt individuals or organisations. There's a wheen of local challenges it faces here in Ayrshire. Unemployment, open cast mining, wind farm expansion, the threat of fracking technology, cuts to the CAP subsidies for farmers, the benefit system, the NHS, issues that are of the greatest concern to working folk and employers. I'll work hand in hand with the people of Ayrshire to address these challenges. The Scottish people never lacked the entrepreneurial skills, business and commerce nous, enthusiasm and energy to put our own house in order. Like say, I'm New Cumnock, Ayrshire Scots, born and bred. As a whistleblower in the NHS, speaking the truth about patient safety issues, I'm now probably unfairly and unjustly blacklisted by any potential employers. That's because the establishment is terrified of my ability to seek out the truth about corruption and lies. But one job I'm no blacklisted for is that of being your SNP MP at Westminster. My integrity for this job isn't in dispute. It has been trumpeted in the editorial columns of the Glasgow Herald, the Daily Record, the Daily Express, the Ayrshire Post and other publications. My NHS case has been reported globally by human rights campaigners as far afield as Islamabad in Pakistan. I will fight tooth and nail for the members of this constituency. Wherever there's a pensioner that can't afford to heat their house, I'll be there for them. Whenever there's a bullying employer that's making a worker's life a misery, I'll be at that worker's shoulder. Whenever there's poor wains and desperate families queuing at food banks, I'll be there to give what help I can to them. These were once the kind of pledges given by the likes of Keir Hardie or John McLean, towering socialists, great human beings, afore Labour lost its soul and sold out to the rotten, corrupt establishment. Their noses in the trough at Westminster, fiddling their expenses and taking the tinsel show of lordships and tainted honours. Vote for me and together we'll work to eradicate these obscenities of poverty and deprivation in Scotland. Hae nae doot, in the free, independent Scotland of tomorrow, with your help and support, we'll make these things happen. I'll be delighted and proud if you choose me for your SNP candidate to fight this seat and make Scotland stronger. And I'll finish with a line of Ayrshire poetry. It's coming yet, for all that. Please vote for Rab Wilson. Thank you.